In terms of what we're seeing, it does seem that a lot more people are being careful about what they spend, the money that they have in their pockets, because they're concerned about their jobs, about austerity measures, and yet the rich have money, they'll continue to have money, and they want to spend it on bottles that cost $110,000 to $200,000.
Not everybody for sure, but yes, premiumization is still a key driver of growth for the spirit industry, both in emerging markets and also in major markets. You know, we don't sell commodities, we sell strong brands, and people are ready to pay a higher price to get better quality and a better product, projecting status, social status for them.
More in the emerging markets, this is where we're seeing a lot of the billionaires emerge.
That's right, it has been a key driver for growth in emerging markets, but also in Western countries, like in the US, for instance, or also in some Western European countries, you have this premiumization trend, which is very strong.
So talk to me a little bit about the strategy of Pernod Ricard in the future. Where exactly do you see your main growth? And is it going to be the high-end products? We've heard from a lot of the brewers, for example, that make beer, which is not your market. They're really struggling because of consumer demand. So will you go for the upper echelons?
Well, premium brands have been the key driver of growth for Pernod Ricard in the last years. It will still be the case in the future. They grew at 10% growth rate last year as compared to 7% for the whole group. So we'll focus our investments behind those brands where we have higher margins. Clearly, emerging markets will have a more dynamic growth than Western countries. That's the case in Asia, that's the case in Latin America, in Eastern Europe. That said, also in Western countries, in the US, in some Western European countries, will have growth, maybe more moderate, but we still have some sources of additional consumer demand on premium brands in those markets.
Talk to me a little bit about consolidation, because of course you've you've had two major acquisitions over the last 10 years.
Even
three, but since 2005, two big ones, and you started to basically pay off the debt so that you're reducing debt. Now there's Fortune Brands. Is this something that you'd be looking at to buy up again? Because then that would mean that you would nicely enter the US market in one easy click.
Well, as you said, we've been the main consolidator of the industry in the last 10 years. I think thanks to the three big acquisitions we did, we now have a full portfolio covering all the key markets, both emerging markets and Western countries. And I would say we have what we need to be successful. The priority today is deleveraging. And I think that, again, growth and deleveraging is what we're going to do in the next years.
But can you actually forego Fortune Brands? I mean, they have a great whiskey in the United States. Again, is this something that you're looking at? I know you possibly can't really comment on it specifically, but is it something that you're not interested in, or at least having a look?
Deleveraging is a priority. We won't go for a massive acquisition short term. In the US, thanks to the Absolute acquisition, we now have a higher, we have the critical size, we have a stronger route to market, we have strong brands like Absolute, like Jameson, like Malibu, and we have what we need to be successful on that key market.
All right, Gilles Bogaert, thank you so much for joining us.